So, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings, welcome back to Cricket Happenings. Well, on this Cricket Happenings show again, today also it is going to be a very brief cricket show. So we are I'm going to talk about on this cricket show is the tour match. In fact, as you know, Sri Lanka are down in Australia. They're going to play T20 matches with as I said, the Australian main team is doing duty in India. They have already landed in India. So basically, it's a second string team that Sri Lanka would be taking on. And today was the first tour match that happened, which is the Prime Minister's 11 taking on the Sri Lankans at the Manukau Oval, which is normally the curtain raiser as far as any tour of Australia is concerned. And Sri Lanka starting their very brief tour of Australia on a winning note, as they won the match by 5 wickets, and that should be very encouraging for them. It was a 2020 fixture and it was won by the Sri Lankans. And as far as the Pakistan Super League is concerned, despite the controversy going on in the Pakistan Super League, today we saw a match between Islamabad United versus the Quetta Gladiators, and Islamabad United netted 2 points with Sam Billings, who led the way with a crunching innings, I would say, of 78 of 50 deliveries, unbeaten at that, 8 fours and 3 sixes, which took them to victory, which I will briefly talk about. And as far as other cricket news are concerned, we have the South Africa touring New Zealand right now, which I'll be talking about. There are certain other things that we'll look at. But let's first head towards the Manukau Oval in Australia and see as to how the first T20 fixture, a sort of a warm-up before the T20s start, between a second string Australian side taking on the Sri Lankans. So the Prime Minister's 11 was the one which batted first, and as you know, this was also the swan song for Adam Borges, who had already announced retirement, and he really made it count. He, as a captain, contributed an unbeaten 54 of 31 balls, 4 fours and 1 6. It was quite a different matter altogether that the Prime Minister's 11 could not win the match. They raised 169 for 6 on the board. So Adam Borges, the captain, did a good job, but as you would know, there was a batsman by the name Sam Heazlett, who had not even played any domestic tournaments in Australia, and he was pitchforked into the Chappell Hadley Trophy ODI series against the Kiwis, and he failed over there, as you would remember. But today he really shown that he's one of those precocious talents that the Aussies have, as Heazlett slammed 58 of 37 deliveries with 4 fours and 3 sixes, and it was a sweet little innings from him. Other than that, David Short, who had a wonderful BBL, in fact he was playing his first British, that is Big Bash League, and he really showed what a good shot maker he can be with his variety of strokes. And he's not a person, he's a very daring type of player who likes to take the game on, likes to take the bowlers on. But today we saw the return of the former Sri Lankan pace ace Lasith Malinga, and Lasith Malinga was the one who actually provided them the breakthrough, and that was the only wicket that Lasith Malinga got, and that was a big wicket, as he actually shattered the stumps of Short for naught. Joe Burns was bowled by Malinga Bandara for 2, and then, as I said, it was Heazlett and Woods' contribution which took the Prime Minister's 11 to 169 for 6. Hilton Cartwright contributing 14 of 8 deliveries, 1 4, 1 6. Carey was run out on 21 of 23 balls, 1 4. Sangha was out for naught. And Nair, as you know, Arjun Nair, who is a very good player, who is also a very talented bloke from the Aussie 11. He was not out on 13 of 12 balls with 1 4, as Prime Minister's 11 posted 169 for 6 of their 20 overs. As far as the Sri Lankan bowling was concerned, Malinga, it was good to see Malinga coming back into the Sri Lankan team, but definitely took the first wicket very quickly with his fourth delivery of his first over comeback, but he ended up with 4 overs, 1 for 26. Bandara had 4 overs, 3 for 26, was most successful. Isuru Udana, the left-arm seamer, was thrashed to the tune of 50 runs with only 1 wicket to show besides his name. Gunaratne bowled 3 overs for 31. Munavera went for 22 of 3. And Sakuge Prasanna, good to see Sakuge Prasanna back in the mix as they direly missed him in South Africa, 2 overs, none for 12. As far as the Sri Lankan innings were concerned, they were given a target of 170 to win from 20 overs. If you look at the bowling I wouldn't say it was any menacing the bowling was not looking very sharp. Other than that, Burrell was a good bowler, what one knows about. Other than that, Arjun Nair is a nice leg spinner. But the Sri Lankan openers, Dikwala and Upul Taranga, gave them a very solid start as they put on 11 runs per over, much above the asking run rate, to take full advantage of the power play as they thrashed 70 runs for the first wicket, with both Dikwala and Taranga contributing 47 apiece. Dikwala's 47 was much aggressive of just 26 deliveries, 8 fours and 1 6. Upul Taranga was there till the end when the victory came, not out on 47 of 33 deliveries, 1 4, 2 6s. Munavera contributed a quick fire 32 of 19 deliveries, 2 fours and 2 6s. Gunaratne was run out for 1. Sirivardhana, who came back to the Sri Lankan team, which was good to see, contributed a very good 25 of 19 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 6. Kapugatra was out for naught, and Sakuge Prasanna was not out 6. 170 for 5. Easy, I would say, a comfortable victory for the Sri Lankans. The bowling, Worrell 3 overs, 1 for 31 was a bit costly. Thornton had none for 32 of 3.1. Burns bowled 1 over for 12. Conway 2 overs, none for 31. Arjun Nair, the leggy, 4 overs, 1 for 32. Short bowled 3 overs for 19. Hilton Cartwright bowled only 1 over, which is surprising to see, just for 8 runs. So there were 20-20 debuts for Conway and JJ Sangha, and that was it. The tour match, so as I said, Sri Lanka starting off on a winning note on a very, very short tour of Australia, and winning the match by, I think it was by 5 wickets that they won the match. So good job, Sri Lanka. As far as the Pakistan Super League was concerned, today's match was Islamabad United versus the Quetta Gladiators. The Quetta Gladiators managed to put on 148 for 6 on the board of 20 overs. This was played at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Asad Shafiq at the top was the highest scorer with 45, 42 less 4 fours. Shahzad contributing 26 of 15 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. Peterson continued to struggle, once again being a first ball victim of the bowling of Mohammad Sami, as a nice Yorker length delivery took the wicket of Peterson. He was gone for naught. Really, Rozu was dropped, but as you know, he has been doing very well for the Quetta Gladiators in this Pakistan Super League. But really, Rozu left early. He was out for 7 of 13 deliveries. Sarfaraz Ahmed's contribution was 12 of 11 deliveries, 1 6. Mahmudullah and Pereira were the ones who really provided the impetus towards the end by putting up a respectable score of 148, with Mahmudullah not out on 29 of 20 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6, and Pereira hitting run out for 27 of 18 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6. The bowling, Mohammad Irfan 4 overs was costly, 37 runs were leaked out of it. Sami bowled very well, 4 overs to 28. Ruman Reis 1 for 29 of his 4. Shadab Khan, the spinner, was very, very impressive. I mean, it was very good to see as to how Shadab Khan bowled. He was very, very impressive, I thought. 4 overs, none for 19 for Shadab Khan, the spinner. And the left arm spinner, Shane Watson 222 and Zohaib Khan 1 over, none for 13. Now it was the turn of the Islamabad United to actually chase the target, and Dwayne Smith was out pretty quickly, bowled by the spinner Mohammad Nawaz for 10 of 16 deliveries. But Sam Billings really lent on. I mean, he gave the respect to the spinners as Mohammad Nawaz and Hassan Khan were bowling very well in the right areas. but when it came to the pace bowlers, it was Sam Billings' clean hitting which was actually getting the game to go further for Islamabad United, as he made sure that Islamabad United will actually win this match, as he contributed a very hard-hitting 78 of just 50 deliveries, an unbeaten one at that, to take them to victory with 8 fours and 3 sixes. Brad Haddin was out for 6 of 9 deliveries. Misbah-ul-Haq, as I said, Hassan Khan, the spinner, beautifully outballing Misbah-ul-Haq, and Misbah-ul-Haq had previously swept 1 delivery for 4, and then Hassan Khan absolutely outballing Misbah-ul-Haq, the spinner, by getting a ball to pitch in line, and then Misbah-ul-Haq once again going for the sweep, but this was a much better line that Hassan Khan bowled, and it had Misbah-ul-Haq trying to play. Probably the ball came in much faster than he expected, and he was gone LBW to Hassan Khan for 10 of 11 balls at 2-4, so that was a good wicket. Watson making 36 of 27 deliveries, 4 fours and 2 sixes. Asif Ali 1, and that was it. And as I said, Sam Billings was the architect, not out on 78, taking them to victory by 5 wickets. Sam Billings was named man of the match. Bowling, Anwar Ali 4 overs none for 27, Umar Gul 4 overs 1 for 34, Pereira 3.1 overs, no maiden, thrashed to the tune of 40 runs with 1 wicket. The spinners were very impressive, especially Mohammad Nawaz, 4 overs no maiden, 2 for 18, and Hassan Khan, as I said, outballing the captain Misbah-ul-Haq, 4 overs no maiden, 1 for 24. So good job, the spinners Mohammad Nawaz and Hassan Khan. So that is as far as these 2 matches are concerned. Now let's have a look at some very brief cricket news. As you know, the South Africans are in New Zealand, and the first one-day international is going to be played at Eden Park in Auckland. And Eden Park in Auckland is something which is not something that South Africa would be happy about. As you know, in the World Cup, in the semi-finals, it was only a matter of 1 step for the South Africans to put their foot into the final. And there comes this thunderbolt from Grant Elliott, who actually, to everyone's surprise, clubbing Dale Steyn into the terraces, into the crowd, to actually put the New Zealand into the final, as you would remember. So definitely not happy memories for South Africa for sure. But one thing that South Africa will be very happy about, as Grant Elliott has already retired and there's no Grant Elliott in the team, so that is something that South Africa will be psychologically happy about. Other than that, from the month of April, the Indian Premier League 2017 will be kicking off. I reckon it is going to be April the 4th, where the first match is going to be played between the Sunrisers Hyderabad and the Royal Challengers Bangalore. That is going to be the IPL 2017 season opener. Other than that, I don't have anything else to really share, dear fans and subscribers. And also I can tell you that they say that there is an young bloke by the name Glenn Phillips who has come to, is in the New Zealand team, and one says that his hand-eye coordination is very, very good, and in fact there is talk going on that he could be someone who probably they feel that he's playing in the same vein as how Brendan McCullum, the former great player, used to play for New Zealand. So his name is Glenn Phillips, and he's there in the South African, the New Zealand team, which is in the South African team, which is touring New Zealand. In the sense, sorry, he's a part of the New Zealand team. But one thing about Glenn Phillips is that in the local Super Smash T20 tournament in New Zealand, he made a lot of runs, and that was the time that one really looked into this potential of this young lad, and he was roped in to the team to give him some exposure against the South Africans. So it would be interesting to see whether Glenn Phillips could be a sort of surprise packet in this South Africa or New Zealand ODI series, if at all he gets an opportunity to play. Well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, I think it's about time for me to put a lid on this cricket show for today by bidding you all a very good night.